crush a lot of water in a small span of time, I need you to understand that your body's not actually absorbing all of that water. So it's your boy Coach K, and we back with another video. Guess what? We're gonna start off with abs real quick. Rube said he tight, he gotta warm up. Guess what? So we're gonna make sure we activate the body and get warmed up as much as possible. We gonna keep it simple. If you know me, it's all about being simple. The basics build the foundation. So we're gonna do just 3 sets of 20 before we get into the rest. We actually haven't hit abs in a minute if you've been watching the videos before we worked out. So today, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna hit abs. For sure. So I'm gonna drop it a little bit for me, just to see something. Remember, we talk about this all the time. Make sure the seat is properly adjusted. Yeah, that gives me better stretch on the abs. So when you dropping the seat or raising the seat, I like to drop it just to make sure you get a good stretch on the core. So that way, when you do your crunch, you squeeze right into it. Remember, you're not supposed to feel any lower back pains when you do this. Also, you ain't gotta go crazy with the weight. We talk about this. So right now it's on 50. You don't need to hit, so it's go up to 190. You don't need 190 pounds. And then remember, all we're doing when we train abs first is to prep the body to be a lot more stable when it's time to hit those compound movements. Remember, on this one, I want you to know we're doing 3 sets, 30. I don't know if I said 20 at first, but we're doing 3 sets of 30. You don't have to be slow on this one. You can be a little bit more explosive. If anything, when you at the starting position, you can go slow, and then when you proceed towards the crunch, you can actually speed it up. But remember, I like to start off a lot of the exercises with a little bit of explosiveness because we still warming up the body. If we do want to start doing a little bit more time under tension, we'll do that as we go along within the program. Sometimes we add it, sometimes we don't. So just keep that in mind. As you can see, your boy Rube knocking out 30. Easy 30. Let's get it. It's a question that you asked me too when you was like, why you don't just keep it rolling? I don't want to keep it rolling because it just makes it one big ass clip. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like I gotta kind of dissect each part of the clip more so than just kind of breaking it down into small chapters. You know what I mean? And then that way I'm like, okay, this part right here between this and this is abs. Between this and this is chest. Between this and this is back. This will give y'all a little bit of game when it comes down to creating content. You don't always got to just keep it rolling. If you want to do that, by all means, do what you do. Oh, this is a lot better. You feel the difference between the first one and the second one?
Yeah.
I definitely feel more core engagement from dropping that seat. Which is funny. Some machines, I do need to be a little bit higher. And some machines, I do need to be a little bit lower. Which go to shows there's no perfect seating to proper seat adjustment. Tell you one thing, I don't know what wax they put on this floor, but I cannot grip right now. Oh, and I'm gonna tell you one thing. I feel this already in the abs. Feel real good, real good. And like I said, we not going crazy with the weight. We only got it on 50 pounds. My top is generally 75. Sometimes I might go 90. But that's just for me if I don't really want to do a lot of reps for the most part. And I've been training abs. Because I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'm very inconsistent when it comes down to training abs. Because you don't really need to train a lot of abs. A lot of the exercise you're already doing, if you're doing heavy weight with your shoulder press, little things like that actually require you to engage and work abs. Not saying that you shouldn't train abs. It's just something I've been getting into a little bit more over the years because I do see the benefits. I remember training with my boy Jew, and we did abs for 2 weeks straight, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I was able to pull about 50 to 60 pounds more just from incorporating core activity more so than, you know, avoiding it by all means. And one thing I always do, because I avoid it, is I do it in the beginning of my program. So if you somebody that need to train calves, arms, or something to that nature, and you've been slacking on it, do me a favor and move it to the beginning of your program. So that way you can actually have the energy to fatigue the area and benefit a little bit more. Let's get it. Nice and easy. So this is gonna be the last set. Rube started first. Nice and easy. Abs feel real good so far. I'm gonna be real with you. And I don't know if you can hear it, but pay attention to how Rube is breathing. This is the appropriate way to breathe when you're executing a lot of exercises. When you start to explode through the exercise, do me a favor and breathe out. When you reset into the starting position, make sure you breathe in. Very important to understand this so you can get more out of your training. Because if you breathe the wrong way, guess what? You're going to fatigue the body a lot faster. Breathing plays a huge role in how you're able to perfect and perform, because muscles need oxygen. Let's get it. Easy. Nice clean 30. Nice clean 30. And sometimes we play with a different range of motion, but reps and sets. So we might do like 4 sets of 15, we might do 3 sets of 30, we might do 2 sets of 50. So there's so many different ways to go about picking how many reps and sets you want to do when training abs. Fun fact, if you ever notice too, in the beginning of my videos when I'm warming up, I generally have sweatpants on, I have on a hoodie or something to that nature, just to kind of warm the body up a little bit more. And then as we actually get into the workout, we peel some of that off. You feel me? Let's get it. It's gonna be the last set. I ain't gonna lie, I'm actually gonna go up just a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Well, damn, I might as well say a little crazy. So do be mindful when you're doing this. Your glutes should be all the way back on the platform, so that way you can properly engage your core. Also do me a favor and get your foot placement together. Find a foot placement that works better for you. Sometimes close may be good. Sometimes spreading out a little bit more may be better. Sometimes just being on the top of your toes may make a big difference. So just use different placements to see which one works best for you. And sometimes too, be mindful that depending on what weight you're trying to execute is going to determine which foot placement works better. So for example, if you're going close foot, it might be a little bit better when you're going lighter, but as you get heavier, you might have to open up your feet a little bit more, or stay on heels off the ground and be on your toes. Being mindful of that. Next one we're gonna do right here, we're gonna do a simple leg raise, but what we're gonna do is we're not gonna use a platform in the back, we're gonna go here. So when you're doing these, do me a favor and make sure that, for one, you can be explosive. If anything, if you want to slow it down, slow it down. Either or works best. I always say mix and match for all those who, oh, you should slow it down. You don't got to slow down everything. And it's so funny, the people that generally say this are the ones that ain't got no physique. So I'm kind of confused where you getting this information from. And I always say this, if you're going to criticize somebody on what they doing, do me a favor and lead by example. Make sure you have the physique, or have, you know what I'm saying, or our representation of what you're referring to, so people can actually believe. But going from there, like I said, just switch it up. Sometimes do fast, sometimes do slow. What we doing with this one is we starting to shock the upper body by making sure we doing a lot of the work for ourselves. Remember, this is for beginners. So if you back here, this is really for beginners. This is to take a lot of, this is like you doing a machine leg raise for the most part. Outside of if you go to a gym like Gold's, you actually have something to put your feet on. But this right here is what make it that much more challenging. So if you're somebody that's kind of tired of doing your back on a pad, you can easily switch it out by training that upper body as well. What I like to say is make sure you lock your arms, squeeze your glutes before you get started. And then two, when you raise your legs, try to raise your legs as high as you possibly can go. Try to control down as much as you can. So you shouldn't be flying all the way back here with your legs. Try to have your legs about right here so you keep tension in. Because once you start bringing the legs further back like this, you can start activating lower back. So be mindful of that. We're going nice and easy, going 15. Arms locked out before you start. Good. You're gonna bring the legs up as high as you can for the 15. Nice. Nice. Easy. 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 Nice and easy. Good. Butter. So remember, when hydrating the body, and a lot of people get this very confused, because Ruben is talking about he tight, he feels sore. So when you crush a lot of water in a small span of time, I need you to understand that your body's not actually absorbing all of that water. Another reason why I always say space out your water intake. So just drinking a gallon of water within 2 hours does not mean it's going to properly hydrate your body. You actually need to space out that gallon of water within the course of a few hours. I generally say for real, every hour to every 2 hours, you want to drink anywhere between a cup to 3 cups of water. So just be mindful of that. For those who always like to say, I'm drinking water, but you're really only drinking water 2 hours out of the day. Do understand, yeah, you're going to use the bathroom a lot more within them 2 hours that you drink a lot of water, but it's better for the body to absorb the water when you space it out. And I always say a great indicator is your urine color, the color of your urine. Be mindful of that. If it's white or clear at the end of the day, I'm gonna say clear, not white, my bad. But if it's clear at the end of the day, that already goes to show you there's no nutrients, no nothing in it. If it's super yellow, that means you're definitely super dehydrated. So do be mindful of that. We're going 15 again. Tell you one thing, that 15 easy as hell. Rube going for his 15, nice and easy. 1, 2, remember, bring those legs up as high as you can go. As high as you can go. And another reason why I like this is not just to train your abs, but get them hips together, you feel me? Nice and easy, nice and easy. Nice and easy 15. Easy, easy. Tell you one thing, I'm officially warm now though. I think after the first set of this one, feel good. So be mindful as well. Remember, explode up at the top, and then 2, when you're coming down to the starting position, control through the core. I want you to really focus on that. Another thing too, when you talk about this actually loosens up lower back as well as hamstrings too. Like I said, you can be explosive. You can use time under tension, take your time when you're doing this as well. Either or works. Like I said before, I prefer switching it up, but as long as you're controlling through the abs, get that nice squeeze at the top when you're raising your feet as high as you can, man, it's gonna be a game changer. 15, 1, nice, 2, 3, 4, let's get it, 5, easy, 6, 7, come on, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, come on, 14, 15, great work.